Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a spectacular, if rare, watch that was originally launched in 500 pieces in steel for 2021. This is the limited edition IWC Big Pilot's Watch Monopusher Chronograph Edition Le Petit Prince. Le Petit Prince is a special edition, generally with a more luxurious applique blue sunburst style, related to the character created by aviator and author Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. Now, he has his own series of brown bronze sunburst style watches. IWC pays tribute to his most famous character with these blue dials. Now, the watch is 46.2 millimeters in diameter, 14.7 millimeters thick, and 56 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip. It has a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. It is the size of a standard Big Pilot's watch. Throw it on my wrist, and my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. We'll zoom out a little bit so you can see it in scale. The watch is huge, and I recommend you have a bigger wrist than I do. My wrist is 16 centimeters circumference, but I feel like you need a wrist of at least 17 centimeters circumference to wear this in earnest. It's just a very broad watch across the wrist. Getting close now, taking a look at the hardware and the software, it's impressive. We have rivets, binding, a calfskin strap on both sides. There's a little bit of an off-white stitch. The timepiece features brown calfskin. It's sheer cut on its side, showing immensely thick layers of leather. It's calfskin on its bottom. You can see this is a brand new IWC factory strap, and it comes with a full IWC deployment clasp, stainless steel. It's media blasted and polished internally and satinated and polished externally. That clasp is your guarantee that you won't accidentally drop the watch where you take it off or put it on. Now you can see the case has blended lugs, satin finished sides, satin finished lug hoods. Though you can see the satin of the lug hood is in a different direction than the flanks. There's also a little polished bevel along the edge of the lugs. Thoughtful attention to detail. Vertical satin between the lugs, and then the bezel is stepped in. It has a concentric satin around its end, and then a little conical portion that's sloped and polished. We have a large crown that is over 10 millimeters in diameter, and it has a coaxial chronograph pusher built into it. So you can use that to start the chronograph, but because it is a monopusher, when you stop, the next push will reset it. Taking a look at the dial, you can see it is the Petit Prince, and it has that blue metallic sunburst, indicative of that series. You can flip it over. You can see that the watch is impressively spec'd on the reverse side, and it is, in fact, a limited edition. It's number 315 out of 500, which is interesting because most IWC limited editions today feature the note that the watch is 1 of 500 or 1 of 100, basically one of a series without individual numbering. This one has individual numbering. Now there's plenty of lume on the dial side, absolutely no shortage. It actually features all luminescent numerals, unlike a conventional Big Pilot's watch. And then we have at center broadsword hands. We have broadsword hands for the sub-registers too, as we have a constant seconds display and then chronograph minutes up at the top of the dial. And take note, chronograph minutes on this watch, let's move that minute hand. Chronograph minutes are gradated from 0 up to 60, so it's a 60-minute chronograph register. You can also see the attention to detail. Not only do we have these lovely polished applique Arabic numerals and indices, but the chapter rings of the sunken registers have been polished. Now the watch includes hacking or stop seconds, and you can see it also features a system that allows you to quick set the date. So it has all of the features you expect on a modern timepiece. The Monopusher chronograph has outstanding column wheel pusher feel. That is, it's a tactile pleasure, partly because this movement, which originally debuted on the Portofino Monopusher, has an enormous column wheel on its reverse side. Now, the watch is derived from the 50,000 series 7-day automatic winders, but because it is a manual wind, it gets an extra day of power reserve. This is an 8-day power reserve, and we have a hidden caseback power reserve indicator. Now, you can see from the dial side that this watch uses a lateral clutch because there's a little bit of jump built in there, but that also helps it to be thinner because lateral clutches are generally thinner than vertical clutch assemblies. Now the watch includes a free-sprung balance with an overcoil hairspring. It's adjusted in 5 positions like a chronometer, and the overcoil allows it to breathe concentrically. So the overcoil has a more centered mass, so in each position the watch is more likely to keep proper time regardless of what gravity is doing to it. That's why we have an overcoil right there. And as you can see, it's a nicely finished movement, mostly mechanically finished, but handsomely so. And as you can see, it has good depth to it. It doesn't look like a manual conversion of an automatic movement. All of this, too, is water resistant down to 60 meters, which is solidly more than you expect on this type of timepiece. And then the glass, as well as the seals, are secured against accidental blowout if you're in an aircraft cabin that happens to depressurize. Unnecessary? Probably, but then part of luxury is getting more than you need. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.